Hi, my name is Leslie Williams and I'm on SDSU campus, and today's date is June 6, 2012. And I'm making this video file to help people understand the factual realities in reference to organized stalking that occurs on university campuses. Go to Google and type in organized stalking universities. Don't put an "and" between organized stalking and universities. And birds just flew over here. That's because I just got done feeding them. There they go. Anyways, go to Google and type also a gang stalking tech, everything you need to know. It's a manifesto of a manager who is responsible. He's the person who's responsible for literally staging the organized stalking that a target experiences along their routes, whether it be on university campus. And this individual does have a power position in the community. And how do I know this? As a result of being a victim, target, and activist of this crime for 10 full years now, every single day, I've not only been able to deductively scrutinize their methods and tactics and who they're connected to, but also, once I found out that what was happening to me was gang stalking, which is actually best to be understood by the term of organized stalking, I was able to do thorough, in-depth research in reference to this type of criminality. And now I found out about gang stalking on June 9th, 2009. Then I found out about what electronic harassment was around late October 2010, because when I found out about gang stalking in 2009, I was still experiencing the extreme criminality that was being perpetrated towards me in Dearborn, Michigan. And as a result of surviving, living through it, surviving it, and running from it, and being proactive in reference to exposing it, I didn't have a lot of time to thoroughly research what electronic harassment was. At first, I thought it was just the cyber surveillance and the cyber monitoring, the cyber espionage, the cyber hacking, like when you're using the internet, intercepting emails for help and stuff like that. Then I came to understand it by listening to John Hall satellite terrorism videos that you can find at YouTube, and by Googling that description as well. And what electronic harassment is the microwave auditory effect and scalar projected audible distinguishable signals, which means it's scalar projected audible aerial harassment, AURAL. And that's where they basically do nothing but harass you from a distance using electronic means that is delivered through the microwave spectrum. Now, to get a good preliminary introduction in reference to how the microwave auditory effect is projected towards a target, go to Google and YouTube and type in the audio spotlight. And that'll give you a reference point for you to literally be able to view how somebody can be harassed from a distance, remotely, verbally, without the target who's being harassed being able to see who's doing it towards them. And then once you are able to conceptualize that these types of modalities and methods are possible, then thoroughly scrutinize the microwave auditory effect at YouTube and Google. A good preliminary introduction into reference to the microwave auditory effect is to Wikipedia it, and make sure that you observe meticulously what is in the external links, because the external links, if you thoroughly cross-reference everything I'm saying, like the John Hall satellite terrorism videos, the microwave auditory effect, you'll see they're not doing nothing but using cell phone towers, stationary satellites that are in the community, like cable satellites for cable TV. Power lines. They've even tweaked it now to where they're not doing nothing but piggybacking off the frequency and then modulating it down to interface with the bioelectric frequency of the brain. Since the brain runs on a low inductive resonance frequency wave spectrum, so does all they do is piggyback off the frequency of anything, even the heat off of a street lamp, because the heat that is transmitted off a street lamp can be modulated down to a frequency. And it's stepped down. And as a result of this, that's how they're able to project the aerial harassment for a target to hear it when a target is either mobile or in a fixed stationary position. And then you have remote neural monitoring. And now remote neural monitoring, what that does is it literally monitors you neurally from a remote distance. And that is done through, usually through a conduit like a transceiver neural implant. That's RFID, which means it's radio frequency. And what they basically do is do nothing but match the frequency of that implant to their technology in order to be able to use it for GPS tracking and for neural monitoring. And then as a result, a target is literally monitored based on the evoked potentials that are processed, which are your thoughts. They then use the same technology that is run by artificial intelligence by part to then transmit aerial harassment back to the target based on what the remote neural monitoring is reading. And this computer is running on about trillions of flops per second, which means that it's processing what the input is, what it's reading from the target, faster than the target is able to consciously even scrutinize their own internal thoughts. Because thoughts are processed from the unconscious to the preconscious to the consciousness, but they're born in the unconscious. And it's usually, subvocal speech is usually attached once it reaches the preconscious and the consciousness. The remote neural monitor is able to ascertain what the thought processes are even before subvocal speech is attached to it. And therefore, as a result of it running on trillions of flops per second, it can literally harass a target based on their evoked potentials before the evoked potentials are even thoroughly scrutinized by the consciousness. Which means that they're basically harassed about their own evoked potentials before the evoked potentials are completely processed in consciousness. And this is nothing but another way for a target to be harassed from a remote distance by these criminal expeditions. If you thoroughly review organized stalking, gang stalking, remote neural monitoring, electronic harassment, and cross-reference the material and the information that you can get through Google and YouTube, you can understand the factual realities in reference to these criminal expeditions and the motivation and aspirations behind them, which are nothing but racketeering, trust fund liquidation, property co-opting, land co-opting, identity theft, human trafficking, sexual servitude rings, prostitution rings, pedophile rings. You would not believe the extreme criminal motivations that are behind these expeditions. And when you Google organized stalking in universities and see that Google will generate to you 8 million responses, then you can automatically deduce that these type of criminal expeditions are not only allowed on university campuses, but they are protected because of the huge amount of monetary dollars that are generated from the criminal expeditions. Thoroughly Google and YouTube everything that I am describing here to you, cross-reference it to organized stalking, and you'll come to understand the factual realities in reference to the criminality that innocent, purely innocent human beings are experiencing. Targets are literally taken out of their home to be sexually exploited, financially exploited, and they also will racketeer and exploit the target's insurance because it's about Medicare fraud and insurance fraud as well. My name is Leslie Williams. I'm on SDSU campus right now, June 6, 2012, and I make these video files for you to inform the public in reference to the extreme criminality that is being perpetrated towards innocent human beings. And since these expeditions are so prevalent on university campuses, I want Americans to understand that this began towards me when I was a college student. So, do you really think that your son or daughter is safe on these university campuses with these criminal expeditions going on and how they're allowed and protected? My name is Leslie Williams. I'm in San Diego, California. The only thing I ask for you to do is to thoroughly scrutinize all the information that I have enclosed in this video so you can scrutinize it for the factual realities in reference to the criminality that these expeditions are attached to. San Diego, California.